Hey everybody, it's JJamJim. Welcome back to another episode of City Skylines here in Vanilla Valley, our tutorial / Let's Play series, and this is episode 30 of this series. If you can believe that, 30 episodes. Wow. It feels like we've gotten a lot done, but also not gotten a lot done. But the reason we're looking at this part of the city today is I just plopped down another solar updraft tower because we were desperately running out of power. So, place one of those down. So, let's go back over here and start to finish up filling in some of these areas. Now, last time I believe we spoke about putting a park in here. And I do think that would be a good idea and kind of give us an opportunity to actually use some park life assets, something that we really haven't done since beginning this series. So I think that might be a really good idea. But also, wait a minute, we were also talking about making this a park. Now I think we make this a really nice fun park that people can enjoy, even though it is across from some of this nastiness. We can cover this with like trees and things, but this being a nice little area for a park, I think that'd be a good idea. We also talked about putting in a stadium, which I think... Oh, yeah. Stadium. We did mention this space. However, I think we might end up putting that on another area. Nah, this feels like it should be a park to me. It feels like it should just be a nice big park. More green space. Also cuts down on terribleness of traffic over here, which I don't actually think will happen since it's mostly residential, but if we ever do cross over to here, I think we'll make this a nice big park. So let's get that set up. So let's go to our districts, and you'll go to paint park area, okay? And we'll paint this a park, because here's the thing. Actually, I just had a really great idea. I had a great idea, and I think you're gonna like it. Alright. Get some of this. Just paint along the road there. Okay. Now, I'm going to... actually gonna put in a road. Now, the road I'm gonna put in is just gonna be a dead end, basically. Is this a Christmas song? Well, how fitting is that? As we get near, as we are in the holiday season and we near it, the jazz station is playing Holy Night. I thought that was that, but I wasn't for sure. That's so funny. That is really funny. That's really great too. Alright, and as you can see, Chirpy is now Rudolph for us, and if you scan over him, his little light bulb nose goes on. Very cute. Very cute touch, Skylines. Alright, so let's go... just gonna go this, actually. Now, I don't know how this road's gonna end, but I'll show you what I'm kind of thinking here. I'm going to go out by 10 on either side. Okay. And because we have the Stadiums DLC, we can do the best of both worlds in here. This could also be a concert grounds, but again, I think we had mentioned that. That should probably be out here a little bit further. But let's put down... I'm just going to put down the generic football stadium. So if you buy the Stadiums DLC, it does come with other ones that are actually real stadiums from around the world. And a lot of them are very cool. But for our purposes, I'm going to put down the vanilla one. Pop that right in the middle. Great. It's going to make everyone happy. And what we can do with this is we can adjust the color of the jerseys. I think we should make that our Triple J color. Lovely. Something like that. You can set different policies in here. Where they get free public transport on game day. match security, keeps traffic or keeps crime low. I don't really notice that you ever get that much crime, so I don't think that's that big of a deal. And then subsidized youth, very expensive, 9,000 per week, multiplied by the number of stadiums in the city. But it increases your odds to win, and if you win, it can be a very, very good payout. So, just a note there. Okay. Now, I could go around with this, but actually, what if I, bear with me here, what if I go around the stadium like so. Oh, not quite. Not quite. And of course that's gonna be all goofy. Okay, I got the 180 there. Should be able to get this now. There we go. I'm still a little clogged up in the nose. My apologies for that. I feel fine, and I appreciate all the well wishes from you guys. It's just kind of all clearing out now, if you know what I mean. All right. Great. So let me do that, and now what we can do is create the park in and around this area. It's a little unorthodox, but I think it's going to work. And I've done this in some of the cities that we've been streaming over on Twitch as well. And it's quite lovely. So I'm going to use a small main gate. I don't really need to use a giant one here. Actually, now that I say that, I immediately take it back. So what if we popped the main park there? Okay, so now we're going to unlock a park. And this is just like Industries DLC. We're sort of working in the opposite direction of when things came out. This is obviously Park Life. We haven't touched on it too much, actually, really at all in this series. But it works exactly the same way as Industries. You unlock things on different levels, and as they level up, you unlock the further levels. So what we get with this is we get a side gate, park plaza, info booth, restrooms, and a cafe. Now, and much like the districts, right? It's all painted. So what's going to happen is in the back here is this is going to be a park. Now you charge the same way here. You can go to park area info, same kind of deal. Here's the level system: total visitors, entertainment level until next reached, attractiveness, and then here's the slider where you can adjust ticket prices. Now we'll say 10. But I'll show you what I think can happen if you accidentally connect it to the outside world. And if you do that without having a gate to it, people will be able to walk in for free. They won't necessarily try to walk in for free. They will still use the route that works the best for them. But just keep that in mind. You may want to try and keep it contained if you're actually trying to make as much money as possible out of the park. I'm not too concerned about making a bunch of money off of it. We are making a healthy budget right now, and frankly, I just want people, using the parks. So, for our purposes, I'm going to, now what I could do is I could put a side gate down here. Does that make sense? I keep second guessing myself, but maybe it does. Maybe it does. Okay. Fine. You talked me into it. So let's just extend this out to here. Is this I'll be home for Christmas? No. It's just, I think it's regular jazz. So they must be like peppering in just a couple songs or something. It's kind of cool. Alright, so side gate. Now we can have this cross. And that makes a lovely little entrance there. And what? That's really confusing. Okay. Go a little straight, and then we'll curve it nicely into it there. And then I'm gonna snake this around the edge here, so people can walk about. And even no, I can't get it over that. That's okay. But what if side gates? Cool. And then we just connect on this side. Same deal. Just gotta weave it a little bit. Like there. And now we have a path going around. And what we can do with park life is pretty cool. It allows us to build assets. Because it's inside of the district, it allows us to build assets on the park path, not on the road. Which is very, very cool. And something we could definitely not do before. So this opens up a lot of possibilities to make your own unique parks, different looks, all that sort of thing. And, of course, we can put it on the road as well. But keep in mind that people who are on the street are technically not paying customers of the park. So just keep that in mind if you are interested in making sure you get enough money off of this. So I'm going to put the plaza right there. Now, we're not on a straight and narrow there, but we can put some trees and things around it, or some rocks, or some benches, but it's just a nice little plaza. And then we also have access to the cafe, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to put the cafe just right there. And then we also have restrooms, which would be nice in a public space. Right there. What else do we have? And then the info booth. And that, I feel like, kind of go right off of the park gate here, the side gate. Maybe one on each side. Sort of like info booths for, perhaps, you know, we play pretend a little bit. It's info booths for maybe the stadium or something. And that's pretty cool. Awesome. And then we'll unlock more as we level up, but you can have all the assets in here. You have a little sign. Oh, let's pop this thing in here.
Say cheese, it's cheese week at Big Bite Burgers and Fries. All this week, in addition to
these signs to show you which way to go.
Like our famous bowl full of melted cheese.
What else? Oh, and then you have like flower beds and hedges and all this lovely, lovely stuff.
Our signature flagship, the spicy blue cheese top jalapeno cheese blucher. So hurry in and get them while they last.
You know, you can do endless things with this. These are also very cool. Little food stalls.
At Akio, we've
and
been making the best
ice cream van.
For 20 years. How did we get there?
The ice cream van down.
By putting ringtones in every commercial that make you
cool.
think your phone is ringing. Whether you have a new phone, an old phone, or just
maybe a little competitor across the street.
Make sure you always hear your phone in our commercials.
Little food market. I think I might put one of those outside the stadium as well.
So don't be silenced when opportunity calls. Pick it up. It's for you. Akio Mobile.
Now, granted, because I think they may not be able to they might not have to pay because these are actually connected to this road, but again, I'm not really concerned about it. People are going to still use the park and be happy about it. So I think I also might want, there's also sandboxes, there's an old cannon, which is kind of cool. Different things like that. Okay, and the best thing too is once you unlock other types of parks, like put in main gates for other types of parks like the amusement park, zoo, the nature reserve, you can use other assets from different parks in, you know, any of them, right? Which is kind of cool. A lot of them do have themes, like they all sort of look the same theme, so you will have a little bit of mismatch on some of them, but regardless, you can do whatever you want, which is pretty cool. Do park gate right there. And can I curve this? I forgot if I can curve. I don't think I can. The game doesn't really like that. I can go straight though. Do something like that. Just give them a couple ways to cross. Very cool. Very, very cool indeed. Now, the other thing, I have a little bit of space there. So what we could do to kind of trick the game a bit is we can put an asset on here, although it might conflict with that. Yeah, I'd have to redraw it, but I could do it here, and then almost like pretend we have like a little playground here. Now granted, it's off of the road technically, but it still works. Do like little Japanese gardens. Just make this a really, really nice area, right? Where people want to come and visit. Awesome. That's going to have trash issues, which I'm not sure what that's about, because it's literally right across the street. Huh. Perhaps we may need couple more of these just to cater to all of it, although we do have a couple over here as well, but I don't know. Let's see, is this one gonna go straight? Strange. It is very strange. They're not going into where I think they should be going. Oh, I see. That one's coming from all the way over on the other side of the map. Well, that's a little ridiculous, but that's... Oh, excuse me. That's just the way the game goes sometimes. There we go. Okay. Now, let's add in a little bit of trees. I'm actually going to get rid of these tall pines. I don't really... These feel a little bit more rural to me. They don't really feel like they fit quite right in here. I'm going to replace them with some other things. They're just kind of tall and they block a little bit of the view, I think. Yeah. Let's pop down a couple of these. And then I think we'll switch to the other kind of trees. I don't want to make it super rural piney, but just kind of along the path a little. Now, of course, we'll be adding more assets later once the park levels up, which should probably pretty quickly here. But I'd kind of like to, yeah, along here. Something like that. You know, just kind of... Maybe they're mixed in with something like these. Every other. You know, something like that. It's kind of cool, right? Put a couple more of these in. kind of want to block it a little bit from the street, because also what we can do is, what comes with the park is there's a new form of fence, which is really awesome. So there's park fence, amusement park fence, nature reserve, and zoo. And we haven't really touched on this. It can be a little tricky to use. And I don't know if we're going to be able to get this. I might need to go a little rogue with this. But there we go. We can have this. Can I even get a little closer here? There. Now we have a little fence blocking out, so you can't just like wander in. There, and then we can just sort of go right to there. It will obviously take out your zoning, but I think that's okay. It might not like going up against the key, or not the key, the canals. Yeah. Just do your best. Go. Just do your best. There you go. And you have a little fence around your, stadium. Now, there we go. They won their first match. See, so we had 31,000 in ticket sales, and we won 160 grand just by them winning. So that's pretty good. So there's value there, and you can also slide up and down, of course, the ticket prices as well, which is pretty cool. Now, last thing I'd like to do, while we wait for this to get up in a higher park here, still at 1. We need a little bit more visitors. We need 500 visitors to get to this before we do it. So technically we're actually losing money on this right now. But again, not really the overall concern. It's more that people are using it. And we get to fit a stadium in here as well. I think that's a great use of this space. But last thing I'd like to do is, what am I doing here? Park. Tables down in a couple areas, especially by the cafes and stuff. Just places for people to hang out and get their stuff from the food truck, or whatever. Couple tables just outside the restaurant. Maybe right here at the park entrance, by the fountain. Tree and put some over here. It's kind of staggered a little bit. Right in this corner, I think, as well. I think that's gonna be great. And what you can do is you can do little things like, making sure you put like a hedge around it. Can't really inflict with that. It's no problem. But it really gives you, lets you really just go nuts with trying to do some decorating, kind of frees up a little bit more of the creative side of it, which is really cool. And that's a little area there. What was that? I'm gonna get rid of this tree. Popped in some of these bushes. And let's see if I can put a sign in there. Because this is another entrance, right? Should put a sign there. Should put a sign right there. Put the picnic tables down over here. Then we can add some rocks. We can do different things. I don't know, a fallen tree there. That's not nice to look at. And you can also do flower beds. I'm using these partly to just sort of show you what's available and what you can do. But The choice is yours. But it's a really cool addition to the game. It adds a lot of elements to it. Really allows you to, you know, and you can use these assets anywhere, right? Like I don't need to necessarily just put these hedges down inside of a park. I can place these along here if I want, right? And that's cool. I mean, that's the other nice thing about park life is it just gives you more things to play with, and really, you know, make each park unique, or just, you know, create your own. You now have that freedom, whereas you didn't before, right? You could place trees down, but, you know, nothing much more than that. Cool. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Takes a little while though. It's not a huge place. We probably could add, you know, another couple plazas or something to increase it, but I think it's okay. People will come. We'll get 500 total visitors. We're already up to 200. So, great. All right. Before we end here, I think I'm just going to put down a little bit more. Yeah, we don't really know what's all over here yet. I guess for now, I'm just going to pop down some more commercial. And I'm going to upgrade this, actually. It's a little nicer. You also can't park on there, which is what I kind of don't want people to do. Skyline is coming in real nice, though. Starting to look real nice. How's this traffic doing? Yeah, not great. Certainly not great. But, again, a lot of moving in yet. A lot of, you know, a lot of figuring out. Hopefully it'll get resolved sooner than later, but if it stays really bad after we do public transport, and we talked about this last episode, right? If once we institute more public transport and do different things like that, if it still is a problem, then we can adjust. But speaking of public transport, before we go, we should check. This is great. These are great numbers. Very, still a small number of people waiting. It's a manageable number. Relatively full. We could probably take a couple cars off of that line. Yeah. Again, probably could take a couple cars off of that line too, but overall, not too shabby.
Of steel frame spots. Due to unusually short fingers, which are a characteristic of my family line,
put down a little bit of an office here, just for, like, you know, administrative services of this area.
The lowest prices possible on athletic gear.
Even that too.
Unlike the local sports teams,
we have a nice healthy demand, pretty even, which is good. That's what you want.
Get you the best deals. I'll never drop the ball on prices, and that's because low prices and my customers' happiness are not affected by the short fingers mentioned earlier in the advertisement. Just remember, when the game's on the line, who do you count on? Steel frame spots. That's who. Check out our ad in the Weekly Nickel.
Okay. More of that there.
Jazz Boatman from All That Jazz, reminding you to email my boss. I'm gonna do a really good job.
And of course, we still have the opportunity, if we want to, you know, put some more residential on the outside. I'd kind of like to not do that, and perhaps just have like a path running along here. That could be really nice too, but. Well, everybody, I think that is going to do it for this episode. We made a lovely park here today, and I'm very happy with it, even though it is across the street from some recycling centers. But I think it is quite smashing. So everybody, thank you again. And we will see you in the next episode of City Skylines here in Vanilla Valley. Bye, everybody.